In the quiet town of Maplewood, where life moved slow and neighbors waved at each passing car, one place stood as the heart of the community: Harper's Coffeehouse. Every morning, the aroma of freshly ground beans drifted onto Main Street, drawing in locals like clockwork. Retirees played chess in the corner. High school students sat with laptops, finishing homework before the bell. Truck drivers on their morning routes stopped for a quick cup. To everyone, Harper's wasn't just a business, it was the soul of the town. The shop was run by Daniel Harper and his daughter, Emily. Emily was 26, warm-spirited, and the kind of person who remembered not just your drink order, but the details of your life: your sick mother, your promotion at work, your child's soccer game. People trusted her. They loved her. But on a rainy Tuesday morning, Maplewood woke up to a nightmare. At 7:15 a.m., a regular customer walked into Harper's Coffeehouse expecting his usual order. Instead, he found Emily slumped behind the counter, her head resting against the humming espresso machine. At first, it seemed like she had fainted, but the stillness was unnatural. The paramedics, who arrived moments later, confirmed everyone's worst fear. Emily was gone. Detective Mark Mason, a seasoned investigator known for his patience and quiet intensity, was called in. At first glance, the crime scene pointed to a simple robbery. The cash register was open, and a few bills were missing. Perhaps a drifter, someone desperate enough to steal, had attacked Emily when she resisted. But Mason noticed details that didn't add up. The security cameras had been wiped clean, not damaged, erased. That required access and knowledge. Whoever had done this knew the coffeehouse well. The town was shaken. Overnight, their beloved meeting spot turned into a crime scene draped with yellow tape. Locals whispered in disbelief. Mothers held their children tighter. Mason began interviewing the regulars, and soon secrets began spilling out. Frank Johnson, the retired mechanic, admitted he had argued with Emily days earlier. He claimed she owed him money from a failed business idea. She had borrowed cash for but never pursued. Witnesses remembered seeing him red-faced, shouting in the shop. Mrs. Dawson, the gentle widow who always ordered chai, shocked investigators when she confessed she had followed Emily one night. She suspected Emily was secretly involved with her married son. The widow insisted she only wanted to protect her family, but her bitterness was clear. Even Emily's father, Daniel, wasn't above suspicion. Harper's Coffeehouse had been failing financially. Daniel admitted Emily had begged him to sell, threatening to leave town if things didn't change. The weight of his debts left him looking guilty in the eyes of neighbors. But there were other leads too. A footprint in the mud behind the shop suggested an outsider might have slipped in through the alley. And then there was the note. Emily kept folded inside her apron pocket, a note that read, "You won't get away with this." The deeper the detectives dug, the darker Maplewood seemed to become. Rumors spread faster than facts. Some swore they saw a hooded figure near the shop that morning. Others believed Emily had stumbled onto something dangerous, maybe drugs, maybe blackmail. Detective Mason focused on the staff. Among them was Jake Miller, Emily's closest friend and part-time barista. Jake was known as easygoing, always cracking jokes, always there to close up shop with. Emily, he told detectives he had left early the night before, locking the doors as usual. But when Mason compared staff statements, inconsistencies surfaced. Why had Jake been so insistent about leaving early? Why did his fingerprints show up on the coffeehouse security system, the very one that had been wiped? After hours of interrogation, Jake's composure crumbled. He admitted he had been stealing small amounts of money from the register for months. Gambling debts had piled up, and Emily had found out. That night, she confronted him. They argued. In a moment of desperation, Jake struck her. He swore he hadn't meant to kill her, only to silence her. When he realized what he had done, he staged the robbery and erased the cameras, hoping it would look like a stranger had done it. Jake's arrest devastated Maplewood. This wasn't an outsider. It wasn't a faceless criminal passing through. It was one of their own, a boy they had watched grow up, a friend who had poured their coffee and joked with their kids. For Daniel Harper, the loss was unbearable. He closed Harper's Coffeehouse permanently, unable to step inside the place where his daughter had died. Mrs. Dawson confessed to detectives that, in a twisted way, she was relieved it wasn't her son, but the guilt of her suspicions haunted her. Frank, the retired mechanic, stopped showing up in town altogether, crushed by the whispers that had once cast suspicion on him. The community was left fractured, mourning not just Emily, but their sense of safety. Maplewood had always felt immune to the kind of crime they saw on the news, but now, the walls of their favourite Coffeehouse stood as a reminder that evil doesn't always come from the outside. Sometimes, it's sitting right next to you, smiling, pouring your morning cup. Emily Harper's death left a hole in Maplewood that could never be filled. In the end, the case wasn't about robbery or even jealousy. It was about betrayal, about trust broken in the most personal way. The tragedy of Harper's Coffeehouse serves as a chilling reminder. No matter how well you think you know someone, you may never truly know what they're capable of.